right. In 3, 2, 1. Yeah, guys. It's CineBoiz time. Happy Monday. Happy new episode day. We got a fun episode today because we're just gonna do something fun today. We're gonna kind of walk away from our typical headlines and stuff like that, and we're gonna revisit something we haven't done in a long time. We did it once, and we're like, hey, this is gonna be a bomb series that the CineBoiz do. You know what I'm saying? We haven't done it since, so we decided, hey, let's do it this week. But hey, let's introduce ourselves first. My name's Kenny. I'm one of the co-hosts of the CineBoiz podcast. I have been told that I am the main boy.
Head boy.
Head boy. Yeah.
Head boy. I don't like that kind of because it makes me feel like I am the boss, and I don't like being the boss, but I guess I'm the boss. I'm joined by Tom Bragg over in Missouri. Hello, Tom.
Hello, Ken.
Good to see you, man. I hope you're well.
I'm very well. How about yourself?
Man, I'm really good. Not going to lie to you guys.
Perfect.
All right. Hey, Kevin. You're also in Missouri. Good to see you.
Hey there. I love Missouri. Nothing wrong about it. I
Nothing.
love snow and the cold. It's great.
Well, here in Austin, we got the storm of the century last weekend. I don't know if you guys saw pictures.
Did it bring everything to a standstill?
I bet it did.
Well, here's the thing. It was Sunday, so not a lot of people are out and about anyways. I did a little bit of driving in the morning. There wasn't anybody on the roads. Snow didn't really start coming down until the afternoon, though, and I was pretty much home watching football the rest of the day. So, yeah, we got a whole inch and a half, which is that's the equivalent of 7 inches, I believe, in Missouri or Kentucky. So, big storm. And then, of course, speaking of Kentucky, we've got our good friend, Mob.
Hi. I thought you were going to say hi, Mob. But then you didn't.
Just making it awkward tonight, you know? It's another night recording for the CineBoiz.
Hi.
We're not big night recorders, but when we do, it's a party.
It's way past my bedtime.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're still here, man. Well, hey, a lot of stuff happened this week. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter. We are part of the Cork Bats podcast network, as you can see from my canvas, which is now has its own easel, as opposed to just being in the back somewhere. Got real official, bought an easel for it. So there you go. Give the people what they want. They were crying for an easel, and I gave it to them. We're part of the Cork Bats podcast network. If you don't know what Cork Bats is, it's a really cool website. Go to corkbats.com. Follow them on Cork Bats or at Cork Bats on Instagram and Twitter. A lot of fun stuff. So yeah, there's that. And today, like I said, a lot of stuff happened this week, but since we're doing kind of our fun 90s Mount Rushmore, I figured we wouldn't do any news stories. I think we would just kind of save that for next week until a story came across my desk, and I thought, we have to talk about this because it's the weirdest thing.
Too juicy.
Maybe one of the weirdest headlines I've ever read. But apparently Armie Hammer is a cannibal.
Yes, please do tell more.
I saw like a post from Variety on Instagram where he basically dropped out of a movie because of allegations of cannibalism. And he put out a statement that basically said like this is ridiculous, but I can't in good conscience film this movie that he was going to film in the Dominican Republic. And he dropped out of the movie. So to me, that's all I read at first. And we'll get a little bit more into it. To me, when somebody accuses you of cannibalism, I think the only reaction is, if you didn't do it, laughter. And being like, that's really silly. I feel like if your reaction is, I have to drop out of this movie and spend time with my family, you've probably eaten somebody.
How do those allegations start?
So
I think it was a DM.
Right. So I have the article here. Well, it's really bright.
Is it like someone sees you just cutting up another human being? And like, what are you doing there?
So apparently there have been allegations that Armie Hammer has said certain things to women in the past alluding to the fact that he wanted to eat them. And there's apparently like an Instagram, like a secret Instagram he had where he was like commenting on things. And basically there was comments where he referred to himself as 100% a cannibal and desired to drink your blood, as in like the person he was messaging. Not a good look.
That's just playing around.
Could be. There's no evidence of him actually eating anybody, but there is this.
Yeah, because he ate the evidence.
It's true. Guy likes to eat. Well,
When was the last time anyone heard of someone being accused of cannibalism?
This is a first for
this
me.
is a first. I
I
at
thought
least
we were
like a
past this as a
celebrity.
society. I don't know.
Wait,
Oh.
you know non-celebrities who've been?
Well, there's the cannibal cop. There was a cop in New York who had he wasn't, I don't think he had actually done anything, but similar situation where like he was getting online and like kind of like spouting these things and like had these fantasies about eating people, and basically got fired, and there was like a whole thing about it, and he like sued, I believe, because like it was like freedom of speech, like he can say what he wants if he's not doing anything. So I've heard that story. As far as like a celebrity, no, this is a first. This is a CineBoiz first.
I mean, the last time I thought about cannibalism was when I was reading about the Donner Party, and that was not recent.
Right.
So
No, the last time I thought about cannibalism was the last time we talked about it on this podcast, which has happened.
We have?
Yeah, when we talked about Hannibal Lecter.
Oh,
Okay.
that's right.
Okay.
Tom
well,
said sometimes when I'm watching Silence of the Lambs, I get snacky.
I need a nice rare steak. Yeah,
It's
I remember
true.
that now. Yeah.
And even in light of all this, I stand by it.
Well, there's got to be like certain parts of the human body that are probably like a prime cut.
Yeah, see, this is deja vu.
Like
We've
I
had
wanna
this
I feel like
exact
I-
conversation.
I feel like I have said this before.
I'm not going to throw names out there, but we all have some mutual friends that have talked jokingly about a post-apocalyptic world where they open a restaurant and you can pick the cut of meat, but it's a person and it gives you their whole background and history and what they did in life. I'm not going to say who it is, but they know who they are. And
Not great.
it's a pretty messed up conversation.
yeah, I'm uncomfortable.
That's a little weird.
It took me by surprise, is all I'll say.
Well, I understand it in like a post-apocalyptic or survival situation. So like with the Donner Party,
Yeah, that's a big caveat.
I mean, that was a really bad situation and they really didn't have a choice. What I don't understand is just like, I don't know. Hey, you know what? Everybody's got their thing. So who am I to judge? But I'm judging a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
I feel like it's fair to judge someone if they're just openly a cannibal.
if you've eaten a person, yes,
Okay. Well,
because that's probably murder.
right. What if you didn't murder them though? Like you just
torture.
were provided the body.
Hmm.
Is
You
that
ate-
Where this is
You've
going.
aided and abetted somehow.
I don't like it in any way.
that is desecration, which
let's-
is illegal, right?
Let's come out strong
so.
anti-cannibalism on this podcast.
Look,
I don't think
Look, I'm just gonna say, we don't condone it, but I won't say we're anti-cannibalism.
ooh, it's not as strong as I was hoping for, but all right.
I'd rather that's one that I think it'd be fun to be vague on.
We have different definitions of a lot of things, fun included. So, I mean,
Just kidding. We are definitely 100% anti-cannibalism here at the CineBoiz podcast. So if you're keeping track of all of our pros and antis, put that one on the board.
we're racking up a pretty good list of anti things.
Right.
Birdman, cannibalism,
We're not anti-Birdman.
Hard drugs.
hard drugs. There it is.
Hard drug. We are anti-hard drug. Well, yeah. I mean, I feel like if we didn't talk about that, we were doing a disservice to everyone who listens to this podcast. So,
Yeah. How do you feel if you're what's his face, Timothy Chalamet, hearing this news? Like, I did a real intimate movie with this fellow.
Yeah,
I don't know.
maybe
Just a-
feel a little
just-
weird.
Just a weird alert to get on your phone.
Yeah,
Like,
probably.
What the?
Well, hey, if we're all wrong, apologies to Mr. Hammer.
I hope we're all wrong.
yeah,
I hope
please-
we're wrong. I
please
hope
be wrong.
everyone's wrong for everyone's sake, not just his. Like, yeah, that's just weird. But yeah, that's really the only news story I wanted to talk about. So, guys, I think it's time we get into the fun stuff. Today, we're bringing back Mount Rushmore. So we did it in the past where we figured out the Mount Rushmore of 70s actors. So this time, we decided to take a different decade, skip a decade, and go straight to the 90s. So we've each come up with our own Mount Rushmore of 90s actors, and we're all going to share them. Then once we're done sharing, essentially we are going to create our collective, if you will, of our Mount Rushmore for the CineBoiz podcast. And Kevin, I charge you once we're done to make a really bad Photoshop.
Oh, I'm all for that. Yeah,
Because we haven't had one in a while, and bad Photoshop is we love that.
that's our MO. We're due.
I think bad Photoshop is 10 times better than good Photoshop.
Agreed. Unless it's like pristine of the highest quality, just make it bad.
Yeah, that's fair. All right. So that being said, do you guys have any questions about it? It's been a while since we've done this. I think the rules are pretty straightforward. Okay, we're good. So let's start. Since he went last time, let's start with Mob. Mob, give us your Mount Rushmore, bud.
All right. So the George Washington. And
That's
honestly,
the left for those people at home.
honestly, I'm expecting this to be on every single one of your lists. I think this is a non-debatable.
Probably.
He had an insane 1990s.
I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say it.
Tom Hanks.
Yep. Yep.
Tommy Hanks.
Like,
Easily the
it's-
George Washington.
It's a given.
It's not even close.
Right. No spoilers, but like I would venture to say that will be on all of ours.
Like it's a pin right there.
He is a founding father. Of
I mean,
Hollywood
his
and of
1990s were insane. You had Forrest Gump, Apollo 13's, I mean, League of Their
Philadelphia.
Own, Philadelphia,
Saving Private Ryan.
Private Ryan. Like, if you want
and
to
then
throw in Toy Story, you've got Mail,
Toy Story.
all those other ones that are just like fan favorites.
And then he just missed with Castaway. Like,
Yeah.
he was
Like, the guy was putting out movies that were entertaining and popular.
You heard it here. Tom
Yearly.
Hanks puts out.
Oh, you bet he puts out.
Yeah.
Colin Hanks. Proof.
What?
Congrats on the sex.
Congrats on the sex, dude.
All right.
What else you got?
My second one is the only other person to win 2 Oscars in the 90s. Helen Hunt.
Helen Hunt.
Oh, nice.
She won 2
Okay.
Oscars. She and Tom Hanks are the 2 people who won 2 Oscars in the 90s. Hard for me not to give her the credit for 90s.
Good one.
What did she win for? I can't
Yeah,
remember.
hit us with the awards. Do we know?
She won for hold
Twister?
on. Yes, Twister. Holly
Gosh, I
Hunt won
love Helen
for
Hunt.
Best Actress for The Piano in 1993.
Not familiar with that one.
Never heard
And
of it.
then she won Supporting
Piano.
Actress, I believe, for As Good as It Gets. Or no,
That
it
makes
was
sense.
Best Actress for As Good as It Gets.
So 2 Best Actress awards?
Yep, in the 1990s.
Damn.
Wow.
Good for her.
So she's going to be up
Solid.
there. You can
Solid
choose
pick.
which face she is.
Okay.
Okay. What else you got?
My next one. This is, I think you could argue for it, but it's also more of a personal pick. Robin Williams,
Nice.
great 90s. He had some of my favorite children's movie growing up that came out in the 90s. Hook, Jumanji, and Aladdin. But he also won an Academy Award for supporting actor for Good Will Hunting.
Mm.
So,
I can't believe you haven't said Flubber yet.
well,
Yeah.
Flubber too, but that one goes unsaid.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Um,
So you got one more. Who's
I
it
got
gonna be?
one more, and
Make it
this
count.
one was kind of hard for me. But I'm just gonna put Denzel in there. because he can be any. He
Can't
can
go
be
wrong.
in any era.
Can't go
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah.
He still reigns supreme.
Right.
Same as Hanks, really. You could
Same
throw
with
Tom
Tommy
Hanks
Hanks,
in a
yeah.
couple
Yeah,
ones.
but Tom Hanks's 1990s was
Unmatched, in my opinion.
unmatched.
Yeah. That's solid, bro.
So this time I came prepared.
Yeah. You
I
really
did my
did.
homework.
You really did. All right. Well, cool. Thanks, Mob. Well, let's move on. Tom,
Yeah.
who you got on there, buddy?
I mean, mine's kind of similar. I'm definitely gonna say Tommy Hanks as the George Washington on this wonderful monument. I made a rather extensive list of fellas that I thought would be good, and honestly, he kind of represents the '90s to me.
Yeah.
Actor, so he's my number one there. And then I thought there was a couple really good lady picks as well.
Hold on.
I said the wrong name for my actress.
Oh.
Oh,
So
no.
this is really going to throw you for one.
Wait. You got
What?
Helen Hunt wrong?
I think I got Helen Hunt wrong.
She was in As Good as
She
It
was in-
Gets.
yeah, she was.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Maybe the piano.
She wasn't in the piano. That was
I've
Holly
never,
Hunter.
I don't even know what the piano is. So.
I've never heard of that. So
Go on. No, I'm sticking with Helen Hunt.
I mean, it's not a
Perfect.
bad. It's still
No, it's a good
bad.
pick.
Yeah.
I like
Sorry,
Yeah.
I had my research up here, and
Hey, don't beat yourself up.
too late. This is why I'm not the head boy.
Hey, anyone can be the head boy.
Sorry, Tom. Go.
no, you're fine. I'm glad we could get that sorted out. I think my next head on the Monuments Men is actually going to be a Monuments Lady,
Mhm.
and I'm going to go with Julia Roberts.
Nice.
She was on my list.
Because I can't say I'm like a huge Julia Roberts fan. I'm not always watching every one of her movies, but I feel like she's an actress that definitely defined the 1990s. Especially
She was it. She was
starting
it in the
out
90s.
starting out with a huge bang, like Pretty Woman.
Mhm.
Dwight likes to refer to it as beautiful girl,
Yeah.
where a sex worker is the protagonist.
Mhm.
That doesn't sound right.
Well, I mean, it's not wrong.
I'm here for Tommy's recaps.
Yeah.
A sex worker.
Anyway,
A Latina woman with a big fat ass plans a wedding. That's an office outtake for those that don't know. One of the funniest deleted scenes of all time.
Oh,
Go watch
man.
it if you haven't.
Oh, yikes.
Mose and I were doing some research, and we were watching a movie about it.
Oh, gosh.
Julia
Sorry to
Roberts.
cut in there.
Yeah. Good Lord. All right, Tom, the floor is yours.
I think my next head on the Mount Rushmore of 90s actors, I'm going to give to Sandy Bullock.
Oh, yeah.
Because I feel like she was another 90s darling that was just always cute as a button. And just, I mean, I think you could probably argue that a lot of her movies are probably the same over and over again, but I don't know. I feel like she is similar to Julia Roberts in that she just really represents like that same kind of era. I don't
Yeah.
know. I didn't put a lot of thought in these. I just made a big old list.
Hey,
And then
you don't have to make excuses, man. This is your list.
Yeah, just don't get Helen Hunt and Holly Hunter mixed up in your head.
and then this last one's gonna be tough. I feel like there's just so many good ones to pick. I think I want to go with Denzel though.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So we got
Can't go wrong.
4 for Tom.
And then maybe like a little Brad Pitt right next to him.
Hey, there's not 5 people up there, Tom. You got
Well.
to choose.
Bad. Isn't there another face on the other side of the mountain?
Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. That's your other guy.
Brad's Pitts. Yeah.
Brad's Pitt.
It's got a couple.
Yep.
Cool. Well, thank you, Tom. All right, Kevin. That means you're up.
My Washington, same as everybody else, Tom Hanks. Not going to repeat what everyone said already. He's incredible. I think his resume is unmatched. Arguably one of the best resumes in Hollywood history. So yeah. Number 2, TJ. That's Thomas Jefferson for those at home. I'm going to go with Julia Roberts as well, actually. I think you said it great, Tom. When I think of the 90s, she defines the 90s style, vibe, all of it for me. I just recently watched My Best Friend's Wedding for no reason, and 90s classic. Kind of, you forget how like bad of a person she is in that movie, by the way. She like really doesn't even give up at the end. She's like, he's getting married, and she's like, let's run away together still. Not a great look. 3, I have Denzel. I just couldn't leave him off. He's personally one of my favorite actors. Just couldn't. I remember the Titans wasn't even in the 90s, but just missed it. Like just missed it. And I think A Glory is actually one of my other favorite movies, and I think that was 89, so also just missed. But regardless. And this is a little bit off the wall.
I like that.
And I'm actually going to say 4, which is Lincoln. I think Lincoln's the far right. Don't quote me on that. I'm going to go with Robert De Niro. Because
good decade for De Niro.
I know it's crazy that you could put him in like 3 different decades, first off. But just the fact that he was 2 of the most iconic movies of the 90s for me, Heat and Goodfellas, like sheesh. Plus, I think he was in something like 25 movies in the 90s. I counted them up the other day. The sheer volume, just a absolute legend. And the fact that he can be in the 70s and the 90s, kind of bananas to me.
Yeah. Big time. And
my other side of the mountain is Robin Williams. He's on the other side. Flubber, hanging out.
Nice. Cool. Well, I guess that just leaves me.
Hey, Kenny, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Who are your 4?
Who are my 4? All right. Well, the first 3 have already been mentioned. That would be Mr. Tom Hanks. Then also Mr. Denzel Washington. Also, Ms. Julia Roberts. But my 4th one, I'm actually kind of surprised nobody picked him, because I would say that the 90s were his absolute heyday. He won an Oscar in the 90s.
I almost want to guess. Go ahead.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah.
He was on my honorable mentions, I'll be honest.
Man.
Yeah. The man had The Rock, Con Air, like all those like action movies. Plus he did a dramatic turn in Leaving Las Vegas, maybe the most depressing movie I've ever seen. But he won an Oscar for it. Yeah.
Forget that he's an Oscar winner, to be honest.
Nicolas Cage owned the 90s, in my opinion. So he gets my 4th spot on my Mount Rushmore. So, hey, that means let's put together a collective, and then we'll get to some honorable mentions. So obviously Tom Hanks is going to be on there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Naturally.
I mean, he's the George Washington.
So Tom Hanks shows up on all of our lists. Denzel also shows up on all of our lists. So he gets a spot. Then
It's got to be Julia Roberts.
Julia had 3 spots.
4 gets dicey.
4 is where we kind of need to figure that out.
Julia was on my other side.
So the other mentions were Helen Hunt and/or Holly Hunter, Robin Williams, Sandra Bullock, De Niro, and Nicolas Cage. So who do we want as our
I will
number?
say Robin Williams was on my other side. So that's like 1.5.
Yeah.
Also won an Oscar in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, this is really tough because they're all so perfect.
Mhm.
I think the 2 that it comes down to for me would be obviously the guy I picked, who was Robin Williams, but also Nicolas Cage.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of having Nick Cage on a Mount Rushmore or something. I'll be honest with you guys.
I do too, yeah.
Yeah.
It seems
I
like
do
it would
as well.
suit him.
So
And
really-
I know the face that would be on the mountain. It's the one where he's doing.
Yeah.
He didn't even do the face, but
Yeah, I think between Nicolas Cage and Robin Williams. So I mean, obviously during the '90s, Robin Williams didn't do a lot of action movies.
No, he was like kind of the comedy guy because you had
Comedy.
Mrs.
Comedy,
Doubtfire and,
drama.
Hmm.
you know,
Right.
Jack.
There's some
those types of
great
movies.
drama movies that he did in the '90s too. I think I would lean more towards Robin Williams, even though he wasn't on my Mount Rushmore.
I mean, if we're comparing their careers, I think Robin's had the better career.
right.
And I love Nick Cage, but his recent run, it makes it a little
Last
harder to
10
pick.
to
Little
15 years. Yeah.
But taking that out of it, it just for me,
Yeah.
for Robin Williams, I was a kid who grew up in the '90s, and
Yeah,
those were the
same.
movies I was watching.
He was a
Yeah.
big deal.
Williams.
He has an iconic voice too, kind of like Tom Hanks, distinct.
And the fact that
Um,
he could go between those two worlds of like some really good dramatic acting and yet still make really quality good children's movies or whatever.
I think if we're going talent, it's easily Robin Williams. His ranges. I mean, Nick Cage has one thing he can do really.
Just be crazy.
Be Nick Cage.
Crazy. Yeah.
And like that's in Leaving Las Vegas, he is crazy Nick Cage. He just won an Oscar for it. So
Well, you know, in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Brad Pitt is just Brad Pitt and he won an Oscar for it. So,
it's true.
you know, sometimes actors are really good at being themselves because they're the only persons who can be them.
That's another good list, actually. Who's top 10 actor lists who are best at being themselves on screen?
Mhm.
I think Brad Pitt's up there.
We might need to revisit that. All right. Well, here's our collective Mount Rushmore of '90s actors: Tom Hanks, Denzel Washington, Julia Roberts, and Robin Williams. If you listen to any other podcast that says any differently,
Shame
they're
on
wrong. Those podcasts don't exist because we are the only podcast where four guys get together and talk about movies. But if there were other ones and they had something like this, they would be wrong. Can we all agree on that?
Well, yeah.
you. 100%.
This is
Yeah.
the
Yep.
definitive Mount Rushmore of actors in the '90s.
For sure.
No more, no less.
I also think we can say that we are really the only people out there doing Mount Rushmores of anything. I don't think other people are even doing that. We're on the cutting edge once again.
I think
Now-
that's fair.
We didn't invent it. We're not going to take credit for that. But the person who invented did one and then stopped.
Correct.
We're taking it places it's never been.
That guy, like he was just like coasting on his one accomplishment the rest of his life, whoever that was. We're trying to one up ourselves,
Right.
You know? And I think that honestly, I think that deserves a lot of respect from people. And if you're listening, you should respect us.
By hitting subscribe and leaving a comment.
All those things. Yes.
And tell two friends, which I haven't
Yes.
done yet.
Yeah. Tell two friends.
Two friends is a
And
tall
subscribe.
order. I don't have that many friends.
Like my friends are here right now.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd say we're acquaintances.
Okay. Cool.
It's
All
true.
right.
Tom doesn't know what kind of car you drive.
That's or my birthday.
I'm sorry, Tom.
Not happy.
no,
The man is not
no.
happy that we brought that up.
Don't apologize for something you're not sorry for.
I'm
All
sorry
right,
that
well.
you feel bad about it.
I
leave
feel
it at
bad about it because we keep bringing it up.
We can't let it go.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
You just put it on a tee for me, and I swung, and I hit the ball really far.
Yeah, you really did.
Solid contact.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Well, guys, thank you for your research. Thank you for the hard work that went into this. I'm sure we'll do another Mount Rushmore in the future. With that, though, it's time to get into some. It's not the mailbag anymore, but it's Tommy's trivia.
Let's do it.
Tommy trivia.
Oh, I'm excited for this
Trivia.
week. I am realizing now we forgot to talk about some updates I wanted to make to this thing, but that's all right. Let's just jump on into it.
Let's just do it, man.
I like to fly blind.
Let's let
Alrighty.
everybody in on how we make the sausage here at the CineBoiz podcast.
So I was thinking this week to kind of spice it up a bit, we do like a hot seat where I just ask one of you guys
I like this.
5 questions. And tonight I thought it'd be fun to do.
Wait, 5 questions for one person?
One person.
Oh.
And here's what I'm thinking. We'll incorporate a little Who Wants to Be a Millionaire style, where if you get stumped, you can like phone a friend or whoever's on this call right now.
Okay.
Or I thought it'd also be fun to do it where whoever I'm asking, they get 15 seconds to answer. And if they can't do it, then one of the other guys gets to jump in.
I like
Now,
that too.
I like them both.
Again, there is no winner. You just get my respect. So there's really nothing on the line here, but I just thought it'd be a little fun.
Okay, but I will win.
Okay. Well,
Probably.
Kenny will win. I don't think it's going to be close, but
I thought tonight it'd be fun to do a little 90s trivia since we did 90s Rushmore.
Yeah.
And our contestant tonight, I have decided, will be Kevin.
All right.
90s movies, not my strongest suit, so let's get after it.
That's why I thought it'd be fun.
I like it.
All righty. Starting us off strong here. What country banned Power Rangers until 2011? 15 seconds, Mr. Marsh.
I have no clue. Is this common knowledge?
No, it's not.
All right. I'm going to ask a fellow boy, which one do I think would know this? Mob, you look like you have a shit in green. I don't know.
Time!
I don't know. Zimbabwe. Well, I don't.
Ooh, close. It was New Zealand.
What?
They
Why?
banned Power Rangers.
This is actually news to me as well. I looked it up last night. Apparently, they thought it was too violent for kids. Even though they apparently filmed a lot of it in New Zealand.
What?
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was like they filmed it in LA and then they used like footage from the Japanese show.
That's kind of what I was thinking too, but this article I found, which I didn't source it, I don't really have any idea who wrote it. It could be way off.
Dailymail.co.uk.
They said, but
Always
they said
reliable.
it was banned in New Zealand for being too violent. But it was
Until 2011?
until 2011.
What? That's wild, man.
Yeah.
All right. I learned something new tonight.
All right. Next question. Ooh, I thought this was fun. What actor starred in 2 of the top 10 highest grossing films of the 1990s, and what were the films?
Oh.
I can only think of one high grossing film in the 90s.
I would like to take a stab at it if Kevin can't.
Yeah, I feel like Titanic has to be one, but
Time.
oh, I'm phoning Kenny. Kenny's my phone a friend. He's up.
All right. What's the answer, Ken?
Is the answer Jeff Goldblum?
No, it is not.
That's
The
a good
answer-
guess, though.
Billy
It
Zane.
is a good guess. The answer is Will Smith.
Oh shit.
Smith. I was trying to think of. Okay, what were the movies?
Men in Black and Independence Day.
How did Men in
How did I
Black
not?
But am I wrong though? Because Jeff Goldblum was in Jurassic Park and Independence Day.
So
Ooh.
I would venture to say you're probably right, but this is just the question and answer I was given.
Gotcha. Okay.
I did not do any real independent research. I really am just looking up trivia questions.
Okay.
I like it.
That's the secret to how my sausage is made.
Gross.
It's weird.
All right, Will Smith.
Surprised
Maybe-
he didn't show up on any of our lists.
I was just about to say maybe should have got some more consideration, but that was the very beginning of his movie acting career.
Yeah,
It was
yeah, you're right,
When
you're
was
right.
Men in Black? Like 99,
7,
7. So Independence Day was 96.
6.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right. So he actually got started in plenty of time. Anyway,
All right, Kevin, your next question. This should be a
I'm
good
killing
one for
it.
you. I think you actually will get this one. So
don't jinx me like that, man.
here is a quote, and you need to guess. So let me just start over. What movie did this quote come from? And I'll give you bonus points if you
I'm
can
so
tell
bad
me
at this.
the character's name. But really, you
I'm
just
gonna be
need the
horrible at
actor.
this. Unless it's Office or Anchorman, I don't know quotes.
Yeah.
Hit me.
I'll give you points if you can just at least give the actor. But what movie did this quote come from? And what was the character's name? What's in the box?
Oh, it was 7. And who said it? Was it Brad Pitt?
It was.
Cool.
You nailed it.
Nice.
All right.
What's in the box?
What's the mind?
Turned out, I won't say it. Never mind. Let's roll along. Let's
All right, question 4.
Won't do that.
Question 4. Ooh, this one might be a tricky one. What movie was Robin Williams' first animated film?
I would have said Aladdin, but I don't know. Kenny, do you know?
I'd like to take a guess.
Yeah, take a stab. I'm trying to
Steal
think
it,
about
Ken.
Was it Fern Gully?
Oh, I bet that's
Nailed
it.
It was it.
Nice. Great. That's a great question.
Good work.
I'm in pro that question. Anytime you can work Fern Gully into an episode, it's a good app.
All right, Kevin. Here's your 5th and final question.
All right.
What 2 actors were the voices of Simba in the original animated Lion King?
Simba? I've
Yeah.
heard this before. It's going to drive me nuts. Kenny knows.
I know one.
I know
Mob.
both.
Mob, give me one.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Nice.
Okay.
I don't
Can you
remember
know the
adult
other?
Simba.
I don't
Adult
Go.
Simba was Matthew Broderick.
That's right. That's
Matthew
right. I knew
Broderick.
that.
Yeah, I knew that too. Mm.
Well,
That's
thanks for
weird
playing.
to think about.
Hey,
Matthew- Those are good trivia questions. I just
Yes.
happen to know none of them. Good job.
we all win.
Thank you.
If we're having
That was
fun,
good
we all
time.
win. You know what I'm saying?
And I like to think that we all learned something.
Yeah. Oh, Mob.
No, I was just doing the Kenny. I'd like to answer the question, please.
I do. I like my knowledge.
You're
I'm
good at
one of
it.
my worst trivia traits is knowing people's names. I'm just not good at knowing people's names.
If you listen to the Tiger podcast, I told Austin who he sat next to at the Academy Awards. So
That is wild.
my
That's
mind is a
wild
steel
story.
trap.
That is a crazy story. Is there a clip? Does he have a clip of that? I'd like to see a picture.
I don't know. I'm sure we can find a picture. I might be able to find a clip.
Give us a 30-second rundown of that story.
Well,
For those
essentially,
that don't know.
so if you listen, first of all, let me plug the Tiger
Yeah.
podcast. So currently, right now with Court Bats, we have a limited run podcast called Let's Talk Tiger, and essentially it's us breaking down parts 1 and 2 of the Tiger documentary that's been airing on HBO. So our first episode came out last Wednesday. Our next episode will come out next Wednesday, and essentially in the first episode, Austin told the story of him how he was a seat filler at the Academy Awards a few years back and ended up working his way down to the front by the end of the show. So, yeah, it's a cool story. I highly recommend listening to the podcast because it's fun and it's a great story. And he tells it well. And the reason why is because he was there. So, good times. We'll plug.
That sounds great.
Yeah.
I can't wait to listen.
Well, guys, do you guys have any honorable mentions for our 90s? I know we said a few. Will Smith, obviously.
I almost said,
Morgan Freeman.
yeah.
Mm.
I almost said Morgan Freeman, and I almost said Tom Cruise, actually.
Oh,
I
yeah.
almost
But,
said that too.
Forgot about
is
Tom
that-
Cruise.
Yeah.
He had a big decade.
Anthony Hopkins had a pretty big 90s as well.
Silence of the Lambs.
Val
But
Kilmer.
He freaks me out too much. Val Kilmer. It's not bad.
He was Batman.
I'm Batman.
I feel like Meryl Streep was around a lot in the 90s, but in no good
That
movies.
doesn't count.
He
She's
doesn't
gonna
make
be
good
in every
movies.
decade.
She doesn't make good movies. I said it.
Boring.
Overrated.
Overrated.
Also, I kind of think Will Smith is overrated. He makes kind of entertaining movies, but one, he hasn't in a long time. Two, I just think he's kind of overrated.
He had a run of I don't know, 7 or 8 years from 97 to 2004, 5, where everything he made was a #1 box office hit.
Right.
And then the world changed and decided that we like good stories and good film, good cinema,
Yeah.
and not so much
Flash and
what
Pump
was the
and-
one where he was Hitchcock? That's maybe not the best movie on earth.
Hancock?
Hancock.
Yeah. Hitchcock. Will
Hitchcock.
Smith played
Hancock.
Yeah,
I knew
Will
exactly
Smith
what you meant,
played
though.
What was the
Hitchcock.
one where he was a scientist in New York that was fighting all the zombies?
Oh, I Am Legend.
I Am Legend.
I
I
Am
did like
Legend.
that
I
one.
did
kinda
like
liked
that. That was
it.
a good movie.
That was a good one. iRobot was sick at the time. I loved iRobot.
Sick, dude.
He was also in a really good movie with Russell Crowe that I'm blanking on the name of, like early 2000s, like Enemy of the State or something like that.
It was Gene
Oh,
Hackman.
that was with
dude.
Gene Hackman. That was
Gene Hackman. Damn it.
Kevin's on a roll.
Not even close,
He's
man.
making my Helen Hunt
Hitchcock.
Holly.
Okay, I'm
mix
mixing it up.
look-
I'm mixing up the DiCap. I've done this before. I'm mixing up the DiCaprio Russell Crowe movie
Oh,
with
yeah.
the Hackman
Body
Will
of Lies,
Smith
yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
similar, I guess.
Well, cool. Tom, do you have movie anniversaries this week, my man?
I do.
All right,
Yeah.
let's do that.
Hit us.
I
Let's break
totally
this
forgot
down.
about movie anniversaries. I'm not gonna lie. I'm
Kind of
really
excited.
All
Yeah.
right. Not a bad week, not the greatest week, but not the worst week we've ever had for anniversaries. Happy 5-year anniversary to Exposed, starring Keanu Reeves. I'd never heard of this one,
Me neither.
but it was in between John Wick's, I think.
Okay.
So
So-
it's recent.
Yeah, and I
It's
think
5
it also,
years.
I think
Yeah.
it co-starred the girl who was
Yeah,
in
5 years.
Quantum of Solace. I think.
Okay.
I always forget her name.
That
Olga
movie
something.
sucked.
Yeah, Olga something. I know it's Olga. I don't know her last
I
name.
don't know.
That was one of the first. That was one of the only movies I ever like fell asleep in and then didn't care to wake up. Quantum of Solace. Anywho,
Nice.
Yeah, happy 10-year anniversary to No Strings Attached with Ashton Kutcher and Natalie Portman.
Nice.
that was the same movie as the one with Timberlake and Mila Kunis, but just like
Friends with Benefits, which
yeah, basically
we
the
came
same
across in Mexico when we were there for a honeymoon. I was
Wait,
just
what?
on TV late one
movie.
night,
Oh.
and I gave it 10 thumbs down.
Okay.
It was.
I thought you were gonna say you really liked it or something.
Yeah, that's what I thought you were
I
gonna
did
say.
not really like it. It was a terrible movie.
Is that the one with Woody Harrelson?
No. I don't know
Oh,
what that one is.
I think he might be someone's gay friend in that movie.
I think he is.
I don't remember.
Huh.
You're definitely right about. It's one of those two. I think you're right. Mark.
There was a string of like those chick flicks that were all the same about casual sex.
Yeah.
And they were
Nice.
I never saw them, but
Nice.
right.
Anyway, happy 25-year anniversary to From Dusk to Dawn.
Oh yeah.
Great
Clooney.
song by Zayn and Sia.
Yes. Which starring George Clooney, who I'm kind of surprised we didn't even give an honorable mention to.
Clooney in the 90s though.
that
Was
was
he
more
more of a
ER
TV
He
Clooney.
star?
was
Yeah.
still like just doing his ER.
And
thing.
also
I
Clooney,
guess.
for as giant of a star as he is, hasn't made the best movies.
Yeah, I think I'd kind of agree with that. He's made
He's
like
just a
few that are
really
good,
giant
but for
star
the most
that-
part, there's a lot of like not great ones in there.
Yeah.
he was Batman.
He was Batman, so was Val Kilmer. I know we talk a lot about Batman on this
It's
podcast.
coming up a lot lately.
Why aren't we getting Val Kilmer? Well, Val Kilmer's like not in good shape, but at least Clooney, like Val Kilmer's like, I think he like had like cancer or something like that. So he's like, I don't think he can act anymore. But like
Oh.
Clooney, we could get back in there as Batman. Why not? I don't know.
I mean, his Batman portrayal was not good.
It wasn't great. I
One of
don't
the
think
worst.
he would want to go back and be Batman again.
No, I don't think he wants to draw attention to those prior films.
Yeah.
Probably.
But I mean, with all the crazy things happening with superhero movies these days, like never say never, you know?
It's true.
So, well, Tom, thank you again for your movie anniversary knowledge. We really appreciate it. That brings us to the end of our podcast for this episode. Thank you all for joining me. Do want to say again, you can follow us on Twitter and Instagram at the CineBoiz podcast. Be sure to like, subscribe, write a review, all that good stuff. Tell 2 friends. Let's grow it. We're growing. We've been growing the past few weeks, which is great, but let's keep growing. That'd be great. Also,
keep hitting that like button.
Also, we are part of the Cork Bats podcast network. You can follow Cork Bats at Cork Bats on Twitter and Instagram. You can also go to corkbats.com to read some fun stuff and watch some funny videos. Also, the Cork Bats YouTube page. You can find our podcast there. You can see our faces as we talk, which is the one of the miracles of modern day computer technology. So highly recommend checking that out and liking our videos there, liking all the videos that you watch on Cork Bats, and following and subscribing to Cork Bats on YouTube. Guys, you got anything else you want to say?
Nope.
I'll just leave us with this. Don't eat people.
Agreed.
I think that's the lesson we all learned today. All right. See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.